What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Michigan Great Outdoors. I am your host, Jay Sostrowski, aka the Pollock. Today we're doing a 1 versus 1 challenge. The Elevate Element Ultra versus the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5. So the Element Ultra just unveiled, a new stand to hit the market, and a new company, really. Elevate, they're a new company out there, and we're gonna go against the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna compare them on the facts. What do they have, the features, the costs, the weight limits, you know, everything that is 100% facts. And at the very end of the video, I'll go ahead and I'll give you my opinion, and you guys can make a decision for yourself. All right, so now we're getting closer to deer season. Guys are really thinking about tree stands. What are they going to go with? My DMs have been lit up recently. Ever since this thing came out, everybody's been asking me, are you going to review it? Are you going to review it? Are you going to, run it? What do you think about it? Should I buy it? Should I get a 0.5? Should I get the Ultra? And so I figured that there was already a review out on this stand, so I thought I would do something a little different because people are already kind of comparing these two. If you look at them, very similar in size. If I was to look at these, I would say they're almost twins. Now, we do have some height differences, but the platforms are pretty darn close to each other. Looking at the precise dimensions, the Lone Wolf Custom Gear is a 16.5 by 23 inch platform, and the seat is a 9 by 11. And looking at the Ultra stand, the platform is 17 by 23.75, and then the seat is a 10 by 8. So very similar dimensions. There's a little bit of change between them, but it's overall pretty darn close. Now we do have, this is the standard version 0.5, and it has the 18-inch seat post, and then the Elevate comes standard where I think this is a 19.5-inch seat post. So you're getting a little bit extra height, which a lot of guys like that extra height. They have almost very similar seats, and to be honest with you, they almost look like the same exact material, like maybe the same person's making them. Very similar in stature, the way they look. The Custom Gear seat pad is a little bit bigger. As you can see, it's a little deeper than the Elevate. So we have Lone Wolf Custom Gear, which is made in the United States of America. This stand, I believe, is manufactured in Michigan and is assembled in Iowa. And this is also manufactured in the USA. And I believe the Stubbs family who owns this company, they have their own machine shop in Kansas. So this stand is, I believe, a water jet cut stand. And you can tell, if I show some B-roll clips, you can see there's a lot of water jet marks on the platform, as well as the seat, as well as the brackets. And the Lone Wolf Custom Gear, I believe, used to be water jet, and I think it's milled, because the way you look at this, there's not a single water jet mark on this stand. First thing I did when I took these out of the box is I really just kind of looked over at them, seeing how they looked, and then I threw them right on the scale. So for the Element tree stand, as a bare weight stand, I had it at 6.3 pounds, and the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5 as a bare weight stand, I had it at 5.98. If you add the seat on the 0.5, you're at 6.2. And if you add a seat to the Elevate, you're at 6.5. And then what I want to do is get a hunt ready weight. So I weighed the tree stands with a cam strap, the seat, and I used Lone Wolf Custom Gear backpack straps for both stands. And the 0.5 came in at 7.1, and then the Element came in at 7.4, hunt ready. When you open your box and you get your stand with the 0.5, it's going to come with the backpack straps, and then it's going to come with the cam strap. And if you're lucky, you'll get some candy, which is always nice. And the Element came with the seat, and it came with a cam strap. There's been a lot of talk online, guys talking that, you're not getting the best value with this stand, even though it's $420 versus $500, because it comes with a really nice set of backpack straps. You can buy these online for about 30 bucks plus shipping, so you're probably looking at about 40 bucks. So if you add that to this stand, it is still a little cheaper. So just to be aware that when you order this stand here, as of right now, which is August 11th 2022, all it comes with is the seat and one cam strap. So both of these tree stands are made from 6061 aluminum. They both hold a rating of 300 pounds. That is the weight capacity. The color on the 0.5 is a hammered titanium gray, and the Ultra stand is kind of like a tannish brown, kind of like a buckskin almost, to be honest. And it looks like it might be painted or powder coated. I want to say it's powder coated. The Custom Gear stand has a hard coat anodized finish. So looking at the finishes and comparing them, and I'll use this as an example, in the tree stand leveling area, I have had both of these stands on numerous trees, and there is not a single scuff mark. There is not anything wrong inside here in this channel. But if you look at the Ultra stand, it is absolutely chewed up already just from 1 day of use. Obviously the powder coat finish is just not going to hold up. The anodizing with it, while I think it is more expensive to do for manufacturing, it looks like it's going to hold up a heck of a lot better. So one of the things that I think is really important here is warranty. And if you guys follow me, you guys know I break stuff, I bend stuff. You know, I'm a heavier guy, 265. This stand here, Lone Wolf Custom Gear, if you go on their website and you look in the tree stand section, you can see the warranty. This is a lifetime warranty tree stand. So the Ultra stand, I was looking on their website, and if you scroll down and you get into the spot that says warranty, it has a 14-day manufacturer defect warranty. So I'm guessing that after 14 days, if something happens, you might be out of luck. One of the other facts that I wanted to present to you guys is that the 0.5 has some very aggressive milled traction on the platform here, and you can feel it very, very good. You rub your hand across it, and here on the Elevate Ultra, there's no traction. It's very smooth. Doesn't look like they've added any in on this platform. Looking at the post, so we have, both stands have 2 Versa buttons. So if you are the type of guy that likes to use the bottom Versa button, you're able to do that in both stands. And looking at the leveling adjustment here, it looks like the Custom Gear stand has 6 slots for leveling adjustment, and the Elevate only has 5. The Custom Gear post is more of a solid one-piece construction, and the Elevate stand here has a 2-piece post, which is connected via, it looks like there's some big fat steel washers in between, one on the bottom, one in the middle, and one also on top. One of the coolest things that the Custom Gear stand does is it does the frame lock feature. This has always been kind of touted as a patent pending feature, and it looks like Elevate does the same feature as well, and it looks like it locks in almost the same as the Custom Gears. One thing that I did notice when I put these stands in the hiking position, that the Custom Gear is nice smooth on the back. There's nothing sticking out, nothing protruding, nothing that would stick into your back. And the Elevate stand here has this piece right here that could potentially hit your lower back, and also the lower button and the upper button does stick out a little bit. So looking at the Custom Gear stand here, it has the 6-point offset bracket, very beefy bracket. It looks like it's heavy duty. It actually looks like a structural part. So they really kind of made it overkill, and it is, you know, very important piece to the stand, because that's how you can offset the stand for leaning trees. And, you know, just in my experience, it works really well. The Elevate stand here has just more of a V bracket style, and to be honest with you, it kind of reminds me of the Hush stand. Seemed like it had a very similar bracket. Now, if you look at the bracket, it doesn't go level across. It's actually on an angle, so I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get it on leaning and cocked trees. It's different than the Custom Gear, where the Custom Gear has teeth that go straight across. So I'm wondering how that will affect when you try to get on a cocked tree. It's going to kind of want to maybe pull back some. Now, that may not happen right away, but it could happen after you're sitting in the stand for a half hour, an hour. So looking at these stands on the table here, both of them sit up on their own, which is really nice if you're hunting in the swamp or something like that. You don't want your stand falling over and the backpack straps getting in the water. So both stands look like they stand up pretty well by themselves. Looking at the features of the Custom Gear stand, as we all know, they have a lot of ports on here where you can nest your compact sticks. They has landing pads where you can put the double step sticks. And then there's these little mini Versa buttons all over this platform here where you can reef everything down with your cam strap if you like. Or Lone Wolf Custom Gear came out with J hooks that you can use to secure your sticks to your stand. The Elevate here has a little bit different system. It has these little hooks here, and I personally don't have any experience with the sticks. I haven't tried them, I haven't saw them, but I saw pictures and I saw some videos from the Mobile Hunters Expo, and it looks like the sticks were somehow nesting in this here, and I think they were just kind of hanging, and I'm guessing they're going to use some sort of a J hook or gear tie to secure them. So there's no spots on here with any of the T-posts or mini Versa buttons to lash down your gear. Looking at the 0.5, there is a built-in pack hook right here, which also doubles. You can put a pin here, and I guess you could turn this stand into a camp chair. I've never done that before. I've seen people do it, but I've never personally done it. But this little pack hook is pretty darn nice little feature because you can hang your, if you're using a wolf pack or if you're using other kind of pack, you can actually take a paracord or something and just tie it to get your height so it's correct height. It doesn't look like we have one here on the Elevate stand. You would have to probably maybe put a paracord tie through here and then have your pack and maybe clip it on or something like that. So looking at the structure of the stands here, you can see where the Custom Gear stand, it looks like it has more rungs and they're tighter together. So, you know, some guys were asking about, well, is your foot going to go through here? You know, if you got little Asian feet, are they going to just slide right through? I don't necessarily think they're going to just slide right through. Now, if you have a rubber boot on or something, you might get that little rubber boot that, you know, the heel. I could see maybe the heel going through there. And in a hunting situation, that might not be a good thing if you have your heel get in there and you go to move and adjust and it could pop and make some noise. It looks like the platform has a lot more rungs to it going across each way, and they all look smaller, more compact, which is going to create a much more rigid structure. Looking at the material thickness, this platform is a 1/2 inch thick and this platform is 5/8 inch thick, which is side by side. It does look like it's, you know, a little bit bigger. So looking at the platforms here, the Element is a little bit longer, but it also cuts off and it cuts in a little bit more right here, whereas the Custom Gear is a little bit shorter, but it's a lot more tighter and it has more space on the platform here. So one of the other features that I noticed on the Custom Gear stand is it has these little gear hooks. I've never personally used them, but I know guys that do. Now I did notice on this 0.5 seat, it doesn't have the side kick holes. So I don't know if that's going to be added down the road, like the 0.75 that I just reviewed not too long ago. It had side kick ports all around the seat. So I noticed that the 0.5 doesn't have that. Now there are ports all around the stand for the sidekick bow holder. Looking at the Elevate Ultra, there is no gear hooks on this seat, and it doesn't appear that there is any sort of accessory ports for any type of bow holders or quiver holders as well. We talked about both stands have Versa buttons. On the 0.5 here, these are actually aluminum milled Versa buttons, so there's no steel parts here. And then you have the Elevate stand that has, it looks like some steel bolts that have Allen heads on the back with some aluminum blocks. So that's how they are attaching their Versa buttons. Looking at the platform, so this, like I said earlier in the video, this is, I believe, a milled platform now. You can see that all of the rungs are the same consistency, they're the same thicknesses all the way down until they get back here, and they do get a little bit thicker. But every single one, if you look at every rung, comparing them to each other, they all have the same thicknesses. It's very clean, it's very well done. If you look at the Elevate stand, there are some varying thicknesses in the platform. And what I mean by that, and I don't know if I'll be able to show this on the video, but I think it's because this is water jet cut, and some of these rungs here, they're very thin. And on the top side, they look pretty nice. But then when you look on the bottom side, they actually look pretty horrid. And I've shared some photos of this with some of my friends. And we all kind of talked about how they looked, and it just doesn't seem acceptable. It looks like it only has that on the smaller rungs. So I'm glad it doesn't have it so much on the big, the main structure runs. And I'm not sure if these runs are just more or less so your boot doesn't fall through, but it's definitely there. So we talked about the cost. This is a $500 stand, and this is a $420 stand. Now, there are customizable options, so you can pay a little bit more and you can get a bigger seat, you can get a mesh seat, you can get a taller post, you could go with the 22-inch post. So far, Elevate being a new company, they don't have any options other than choosing a cam strap or a ratchet strap when you go to order the stand. I also like to point out the seat on the Elevate. The little rungs here, again, it's just like the platform. They are, very consistently cut on the top, but on the bottom, they're just, it's like the water jet was just like blowing through it or something. It just doesn't look very good. Looking at the custom gear, being that it's milled, everything is precise. All the rungs are the same size, and there's no, variance in the sizes of the rungs. Looking at hangability, this stand, while it does hang pretty easily, I do feel like it takes me longer to hang this tree stand. And I think it's because of this V bracket. I think that it's not as far away from the tree and that there's not as much surface area there. So you kind of got to finagle it a little bit more. And, you can see in some of the footage, it was taking me several times to kind of get it set up. And I wasn't doing anything different than I do with this stand here. But I think because of this V bracket and just the way how this geometry is and how the stand is with the teeth, that it just seems to work better for hanging on trees. Whether it's a straight tree, a big tree, I put it in my mulberry tree with the heavy angle. And again, it took me several tries to get this one hung, and I literally was able to hang this one on the first attempt. We're starting to get into my opinion stage now, and comparing these stands as far as like the fit and the finish go. This stand is absolutely gorgeous. It is, I say this a lot, but it's like a work of art. If you see this milling and how the platform looks, it's a beautiful stand. It's amazing that you put these stuff in the tree. So looking at the Elevate, if you grab this stand and you kind of see it from the top, it looks nice. I mean, it looks like the pattern's cut out really nice. It looks like everything's symmetrical. The post looks pretty good from afar. And then when you get up close, you see all the water jet marks. So there's water jet markings all over the post. It's all over the seat. But what's really kind of troublesome to me is when you look at it on top, it looks perfect. And then you look at the bottom, and the bottom looks horrible. It's legit horrible. I can't even believe that a company would want to put this out there. Like, I hope that the footage shows you guys what it really looks like. And honestly, everybody that I've saw post this stand on Facebook or any other social medias has never said a word about the water jet. The only thing that's been said is that, well, Lone Wolf Custom Gear had water jet issues when they first came on the scene. And that's just like growing pains, now they've got it figured out. And yeah, that's fair to admit. But I have a 1.0 stand that I recently acquired. It's in my barn. It is stand number 217. It's stamped right on the stand. And if I compare that platform and the water jet cuts on that platform, all of the rungs on that platform are consistent on the top and the bottom, the thickness of them. There's no deviation. It's not different. There is some water jet markings on the post that can, maybe look a little shitty. But what my problem is not how the water jet cut looks. It's the fact that these rungs here, they might not be structural, it's not consistent. Like if I took a caliper on this side and measured it, it's not the same on this side. And it's like that on the seat. If you look at this seat, it's almost worse on the seat. So in my opinion, and it's my opinion, if you don't like my opinion, that's fine. I don't know why you'd want to even put this out here. I mean, there's obviously a quality control issue here with the water jetting. Like I said, on the top, it looks really nice. It looks clean on top. But on the bottom, It just looks piss poor. I have that 1.0. Everybody wants to say that Custom Gear had the same problems. I disagree. You know, there was water jet marks. I have 17-inch compact sticks. They have water jet marks on them. But the metal is consistent all the way through. If you mic it all the way around on those sticks, it's consistent. I have full-length sticks with the rubber coating. Gen 1 full-length compact sticks. Same thing. Water jet marks. They have them. But the metal is consistent. The difference here in this stand is that it does not have consistent cuts, and that makes me nervous. It makes me feel like that this stand, you know, isn't exactly to spec how they designed it, and what is that going to do for the longevity of my platform. So we want to talk about flex. A lot of people don't care to talk about it. It's a big guy problem. Jace, you're heavy. You're too heavy for these stands. Both of these stands have a 300-pound rating. You can see the flex on this stand when I'm on it. You can see that it does flex. It doesn't flex that much. Out of all the Custom Gear stands, the 0.5 flexes the least because it's smaller, it's more compact, and yes, there's a little bit of flex on there. This stand flexes less than the B stand I've reviewed, you know, last year. Looking at the Elevate stand here, this stand, in my opinion, flexes way too much. I weigh 265. Yes, I'm a heavy guy. I'm at the higher level, 300-pound weight rating. But the way this thing flexes, it reminds me of when I stood on the B stand on the edge of the platform. The whole stand is just, it's like standing on a wave, you know, like you're on a surfboard. If you're 200 pounds, is it going to matter? Probably not. If you're 220, is it going to matter? I don't know. But all I know is that so far, looking at this platform, I think it could be bent already, to be honest with you. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to put it on. I think I'm going to have to take it apart and put it on a flat surface. But I think that I've already bent this platform. So, yeah. Bending platform, you know, I've literally tested this thing for a day and the platform's already bent. So that's totally unacceptable. The reason that I checked it is because if you look here on this V bracket, the V bracket actually is bent already. So I'll cut to that scene where I actually bent it. So I don't know if you can see this right here. I'll show you up close, but this is already bent. No funny business. Swear to God on my kids, literally bent it, camming it on this tree, which I tried. You could see in the footage, it took me like 3 or 4 attempts to get it to actually lock in and cam, and it's already bent. 300-pound rating. One important thing that I'd like to note is that the Elevate stand does not have any traction whatsoever cut into the platform. And I see people online and they're spraying their shoes and they're seeing if it squeaks and they're seeing if it's slick. You know, that's great, but like, what's going to happen in November and December when it's super icy, it's super slick, there's snow, freezing rain. The way that this platform is, and it's got these are kind of like these runs going out, I think that could be slippery on your feet. Your foot might want to just slide right off. And I believe that this is a bad design because of that. And I think there might be some problems come deer season. Even swamp muck or swamp, you know, goo or whatever you have on your boots, I think it's going to be a problem. Notice the Custom Gear, it does have machined in traction, and also it has all of these perpendicular rungs that could help your foot stay on the platform in case it iced up and you know, maybe you slipped. In my opinion, this is a much better design for keeping your feet on the platform. People might disagree with me, but I tell you what, if you hunt in late season, I think it's going to be an issue on the other stand. One other issue I've also had, no matter how much I've tightened this bolt, I cannot really get this thing to stay pretty tight. It's fairly loose. So it looks like everything's kind of maxed out. There's nothing I can do. As well on the bottom. It's the same thing on the bottom. It's super loose, and I've tried tightening this bolt several times, and it just doesn't get as tight as I like it. So this thing kind of just flops around. Comparing it to the custom gear stand, everything is very tight, and it was like this out of the box. I didn't have to do anything. This is the way I like it personally, which the reason I like it that way is because I don't want to be in the stand and just have my seat flop down, especially if a deer's coming. I have been busted on other stands when that's happened. I think that there is a much greater tolerance in here, so the machining is done more precise and there's a better fitment. Same thing on the bottom, nice and tight, so when I go to hang my stand, this thing's not just going to be flopping around making noise. So I think they really did a better job on that aspect as well. All right, so final thoughts on these two stands. I actually kind of took a step back, and this is on day 3 of filming this video now. I just wanted to collect my thoughts. You know, I don't want to come off as a hater, because I'm not. You know, I was excited to see this company come out. I like the name of the company. It's cool. Their marketing's great. I like their logos and the stuff they're doing, the pictures on social media. I think that this stand has major issues that are going to come out eventually. So, you know, I'm sure I'm going to take some heat for this, but I just really don't care, because I speak my mind, I tell the truth. But this is 1/2 inch material. This should not be rated at 300 pounds. No way, no how. This is a thicker material. It's rated at 300 pounds. I know it lasts. I have a 0.5 that I hunt with, and I've had it for 2 seasons. There's no bends in it. There's no deformation. There's nothing. I have a slight bend in this platform already. It's really hard to show you on the screen. I'll do my best to try to show you a little clip of it, but I think it's from when I tow hooked it into the tree. Now, there's nothing in the instructions that says don't tow hook it. Some guys are going to hate and be like, well, you tow hooked it too hard. Okay, you know, when I tow hook, sometimes that platform flips up. You don't always have control how high it goes. I have done the same thing a million times in this stand. I've done it in the 0.75. I've done it in the Novik stands. I did it in all my Lone Wolf stands that I had, the Hilo, the Echo, the Assault 2. I did it on the Hush. It bent the post. That post is supposedly fixed now. That stand comes with instructions not to tow hook now. So, you know, nowhere did I see that you can't tow hook this stand, but that's what everybody's accustomed to do. That's what we do. We tow hook the stands. We set it properly. And I think that's how you're supposed to do this stand. And I think part of the problem might be these teeth. They're just too damn aggressive. And you say, well, you know, how could that be? I think that it's good to have aggressive teeth, but I just think that they're biting too hard. And when it bites too hard, it gets stuck. And then you put that pressure on it, and because this is 1/2 inch material, it's going to bend. So I'm going to have to give the W to the 0.5 here. And, you know, I think that, in my opinion, if I was going to buy a stand, this is $420, this is $500. I would just save up another week and buy the 0.5. If you can't spend that much, you know, maybe look at a Hush. I know the Hush has been redesigned. The post is supposed to be thicker now. It's not supposed to bend. Maybe look at a Novik's Hilo. I would rank this, you know, other than it being lightweight, there's nothing special about this stand. I don't see it. The finish is already coming off. You know, we didn't even talk about the seat leveling. It's got about half of what this stand has and all the other stands on the market. So I'm sure they're going to probably watch this video. They might be upset. They might be mad with me. That's fine. You know, I'm sure people are going to talk, you know, smack about my weight. Well, he's too heavy. He shouldn't be on these stands. He's a whiner. He bends everything. No, what I do is I tell you what you don't want to hear. People don't want to hear that the stand may have flaws. I would do the same thing with this stand if it had flaws. And you know what? This company here is going to listen to it, and they're going to adapt. They're going to change. They're going to make it better. Will this company do that? I mean, I think that they might, and I hope that they want to. You know, for instance, the B stand. I think that the B stand is just really close to being an amazing stand. Maybe make a couple tweaks and changes, and I've suggested that to them, and I haven't saw anything yet. But, you know, that's what sets companies apart. Companies that listen to their customers, they listen to what people say and think. I'm 265 pounds. I am well under the weight limit for this stand. So if you guys want to hate on me in the comments, that's fine. If you want to send me a message, if you want to talk about it, that's fine as well. I'm going to send them a message and tell them what happened. and be very open and honest. And I have done nothing other than properly test the stand like I would do any other tree stand on the market. I run it through the same tests. If you guys watch my channel, you can see that I use the same trees, and you know, there's no funny business here. I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to have options. And like I said, I think that this stand is much superior than this stand, and this is what I would tell everybody to buy. And if you don't like the short post, just get the tall post, and then you're just going to add like 0.3 pounds to your stand with the tall post. A little bit more money. It is a little bit more expensive, but you're going to have that comfort, and you're going to have a stand that you can know and you can trust that it's not going to bend, it's not going to break, and it has a lifetime warranty. I'm getting close to my 14-day warranty, so I'm going to end this video, and I need to reach out to them and see if I can get my money back. If not, whatever, it's fine. I'll eat it. And hopefully this video is helpful for you. And if you want to hate down below. As always, we can always have good conversations about these products, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.